Welcome back, Rankers. I read an article during the week that said your transcripts in your YouTube videos will become important because they'll tell Google a little bit about what the video is about and Google will index those words. Nah, I'm sorry. And if it does, we're all in trouble. Here's why. This is the first line from my video last week, according to YouTube. Welcome, background. Here's why I had it right, but last night, thanks to Pia Warddraw. No, I did not say that. Maybe it's just the accent. Maybe it's my lack of enunciation. But let's hope the transcripts of videos are not indexed by Google anytime soon. And by the way, for your interest, nor are the comments in YouTube. I certainly haven't seen any comments on YouTube videos turn up in Google. Certainly the video titles do, yes. I'm going to do a review this week on a viewer's site because I think sometimes when we do a review of someone else's site for SEO, it can help you go through the steps, go through the processes, see if there's something that you could be doing the same on your own site. It just helps you take a step back. Because myself, when someone says, how can you rank my site, there's a number of simple steps that we just go through. It's a methodical process so we know exactly what we're up against. First thing I go and do, of course, is go and have a look at the site. Now, this is a lovely, gorgeous looking site. Social Code is the name of the site. The thing that hits me straight up from a user's perspective is that it's an app and it's for something about my health. Great. What I see a lack of, though, from a searcher's perspective, is keywords, structured keywords, if you like. Who are we trying to target? Who is the buyer persona? And what sort of things are they searching for? Right down the bottom here, we've got a little bit about smoking cessation iOS app. Most people would say stop smoking, not smoking cessation, stuff like that. I know that's hard from a branding perspective, and if you've got certain ways that you must say things because it's the industry, it's the health industry that you're in. I understand all those things. So you've got to find another way of getting those things into the code. So when I go and have a look at the code, we can see here, this is the head. The page title is Positive Health Outcomes Through Social Connectivity, Medical Support and Gameplay. Now, if you want to rank for that, if you think someone's searching for that, fantastic. I'm guessing they're not. Now, this is where it gets a little bit difficult. Remember a couple of weeks ago I talked about the interrupted space advertising versus search advertising. Basically, search you can compare to the old yellow pages or directory advertising, and the interrupted space advertising is display advertising, like billboards, like display ads on websites, like Facebook advertising, like newspaper advertising, all those sorts of things. They're interruptive advertising. They're interrupting our space. YouTube's going to have hell with this transcript next week. So, why that's important is that when you are selecting headlines or trying to write a headline for a blog post, an article, a page, typically it will become the title of that page. If you're going to be creative, and I'm not saying you shouldn't be, but if you are, it's not going to work that well in search. The reason is typically if you're trying to be creative, you're trying to come up with a witty, clever headline for a sub-editor or whatever else, it's not going to work for search. One interrupted space where it will work really well, though, is in an email subject header. That's where you get creative. That's where you get exciting. But for search, it ain't going to work because people aren't searching for that creative phrase. Now, you will rank for this. I have absolutely no doubt. So we'll just Google that. Copy and paste that again because it didn't work. Of course, the first site there is your homepage because it's on the page title and it's in the page. This is a good example of the steps that you should go through. So, for instance, we've got that phrase in our page title up here. And then we've also got it as the main piece of text on the page as a H1. So we always say, like, get your keywords in your page title. Don't overdo it. Don't make it stupid. Because people are looking at this also through things like readers, automatic tweet submitters and those sorts of things. They're all taking the page title. So you don't want to overdo it. You want to make it sensible so it just doesn't look like rubbish when someone is viewing it from those other applications, all right? And then after the page title, it's here in a H1. And the heading structure is nice. I like it. If we go and have a look at SEO for Firefox, Aaron Wall's tool, we can see here that we've got a H1, we've got a H3, and we've got a H4. This probably could be a H2, but no big deal. But once again, in all these headings, you really want to start putting your keywords. You've got to work out a way to do that. You've got to work out who that target market is and what keywords you can use. If we then, the next thing I do, once I've had a look at that, go, okay, there's the links. We've got all these links really don't have any keywords in them. We've got links to the blog posts, which is great. One of the key things that we're missing, though, on the blog posts is we've got Siobhan's name here, but we don't have any Google authorship set up. And we go and I know Siobhan's got her Google profile set up, and we're not linking to that site from your Google profile. So you need to get that rel equals author set up, rel equals publisher set up as well, going back and forth to your Google profile. I won't go through that today because we've been through that before, and there's plenty of information out there on how to do that. And that's important so Google knows that this is content published by a real person, and it therefore carries a higher quality to it, if you like. Next thing I always do, but a lot of SEOs don't, and I don't know why, is go and have a look at the index. That will tell you heaps. Now in this case, it's great. We've got 18 results. We've done site, socialcode.io. That all looks pretty good to me, except that, once again, we lack keywords in the page titles, which we already know about. Yeah. The other thing that you're going to have to come to terms with too, Siobhan, is that this section down here, every time you add a new post, this is going to change. And that actually represents a large percentage of text on your site, because when we go and have a look at say this page in the Google cache, and this is the next thing I would do after I've looked at the index. I want to go and have a look at the front page in the Google cache, because I want to know two things. I want to know, when did Google last actually cache this page? 31st of January, so a few weeks ago now. That doesn't mean that's the last time it visited the page, mind you. It won't tell you that here. You need your own stats program to work that out. And then the next thing I want to go and do is have a look at the text-only version of that page, because that tells me what Google is seeing. And you can see there, this is our H1, right? It's the biggest text on the page. And we move down here and we can see, the different, we've got our these are our H3s and these are our H4s. I would normally, which is quite odd actually, anyway, they shouldn't be, this one actually should be bigger than the other one. I don't know why Google has put those ones smaller. Anyway. And then the other thing to look at here is, what are the links that Google's seeing? What authority or keyword authority are you giving into the rest of the site? So we don't have a lot of links there. We don't have a lot of keywords there. The other thing that I would check is set up Webmaster Tools and check to see whether .io, if it is considered a top-level domain by Google. I'm guessing it is. I've never used one before. But you'll need to go on Webmaster Tools, and if your audience is a New Zealand audience, which I'm assuming it is by the sponsors or the partners that are on the page, make sure you go into Google Webmaster Tools and say, this site is specifically for New Zealanders, or else Google won't know, where it should display your site because it's not a .co.nz. Hopefully that's helpful for a whole bunch of you. If you are using top-level domain names, make sure you go and do that. I'll quickly just show you where that is in Google Webmaster Tools. If you go into your configuration, you go into your settings, and you can see here geographic target. Now this is a .com.au, so I can't change that. This site I'm looking at the moment. But if, for instance, if we go to stuartmedia.biz, a lot of people say, oh, you can't rank a .biz and .au. Well, yeah, you can. We've ranked on the front page for a bunch of SEO phrases for about 10 years with a .biz. So here I can say target users in Australia, or I can choose any country in the world. All right? I choose Australia. Hopefully that's helpful. We'll see you next week, and we'll have another look at the YouTube transcripts. I'm from Melbourne, you see, so we have transcripts, because that should be a lot of fun. See you next week. Thanks very much. Bye.